Yo, welcome back to day 89. We're almost at the finish line. And I don't know if it's because of the way I've dated this series and that I'm always there, but I had such a cathartic moment this evening actually. And I finally accepted the fact that I'll be spending a lot of time alone along this path and that I've chosen this for myself, and that is probably for the better, because I've been dealing with the loneliness for so long, right? And man, loneliness, it's such a deeply uncomfortable feeling, that constant mental anguish, that feeling like you're not interesting, like you're less worth than other people, and wondering why other people can have friends and be validated by each other, but you're just sitting there all by yourself like a weirdo, and you feel like you don't deserve other people validating you, and you feel worse about yourself, and it slowly it does spiral, and it does get worse and worse and worse in a sense, and it's hard to escape from. Sure, you can find some escape in food and entertainment, but it's there, and you feel like nowhere is comfortable because everywhere you're lonely, and you feel like you have no branches to hold on to, and you got no one to hug, and you just really want to hug someone. You want to speak to someone, like a real person. And trust me, I've been there. I've been there so much. You don't know, or maybe you do know, but if we go back to before this series started, I broke up with my girlfriend. Then I graduated high school a week later. And then I started this series a week later. And since then, I've met my high school friends once. And the one time, I didn't really feel like I resonated with them. I felt lonely even though I was with them. And sure, it's cool to catch up with them, right? I love these guys. I've grown up with them, but I just don't resonate. So all throughout this series, I've basically been so lonely. And I've been fighting against it so long. I've been trying to not feel lonely. I don't know how to describe it, but trying to fight the feeling, as if as if that would do anything, right? It's hard to beat head on, in a sense. And this evening, before I recorded this video, I was contemplating whether I should share this or not, but I figured I've come this far in this series. I've literally done this for 89 days straight, every single day, and posted it consistently, never missing a single day, by the way. Am I really gonna sit here and put on a mask now? No. So the truth is, before I recorded this video, like a few hours ago, I really had a solid cry, like full-blown cry, because I can't explain it. It's hard to explain, but it was just so cathartic, and all this feeling of loneliness, all this, all this baggage I felt like I was carrying from trying to be the old me. I just kind of dropped that. I just let that go, and I kind of killed my old self, and I accepted that now I'm alone, and that's fine. And that's probably better than the alternative, right now at least. And I was journaling a lot, right? And I kind of started realizing, hey, the only way is through. The only way is through the loneliness. I've laid out this path for myself. I've chosen to do what I truly want in life and achieve more things than might be expected of me, and really going the extra mile. And then along that path that I've chosen, there are some monsters of loneliness, right? And I can choose to try to escape that loneliness, try to take a different path, try to walk back again, give up. But the only true way is through. And really just seeing loneliness as a fleeting feeling. Of course it has its source. I don't think you should be by yourself your whole life. I don't think that makes sense. But when you're in periods where you go weeks, maybe even months, without truly socializing that much, you gotta have a way to deal with those feelings of loneliness, because you're always gonna have that urge to socialize. Like, you're always gonna have it. It's never gonna go away. You're a human. But instead of feeling like you need to scratch that itch by going out and socializing with people that maybe aren't the best people to be around, instead see that as just an opportunity to overcome that, and see the opportunity in the obstacle. This is a kind of philosophy that I've really stuck to, and I don't know why I didn't apply this to the loneliness earlier. But basically, when you're greeted with the feeling of loneliness, try to separate yourself from it, right? And you look at it, it's this negative feeling, right? It weighs you down. It's ugly. It's heavy. It's uneasy. You look at that and you say, hey, this one's pretty similar to a lot of other feelings. And if you just look at that and see, okay, here we got this big, ugly, dark rock. But you see, there's some diamonds there in the rough. There's some good parts to it. Because when you get to spend time in solitude, you're truly the only influence on yourself, and you can literally choose everything in your environment really consciously, and from there feed yourself these inputs and change your mind, change your habits, change your character, change your life. So focus on that. It might seem, hard at first, trying to only focus on the positive and not the negative. And it feels a bit redundant, like, yeah, sure, there's some positive parts to it, but I really feel this negative feeling. Yes, you do. It's true. However, you feel what you focus on, and what you focus on grows. Because when I was running my marathon, by the way, technically ultra marathon, but I'll be humble and call it a marathon, I had these moments, right, where my hamstrings and calves were really cramping up. Like, they were like rocks, and they hurt so bad. And I had these moments where I started feeling my consciousness move towards those muscles. And the tool I used there to overcome that was, I said in my mind, I think I said it probably out loud too, I literally repeated the words forward, 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 forward. Like so many times it drove me crazy. And it forced my mind to focus on the positive, the upside, the opportunity to move forward rather than the negative feelings of that pain, right? And the same exact way you can view these periods of solitude. Like, yes, there are some hard feelings, right? Some negative feelings, some painful feelings, but there's also so much opportunity there and so much growth and it's literally the loneliness, the solitude literally contains what you've always been looking for, which is changing your life. So don't waste a good opportunity, because you don't get infinite opportunities in your life, because your life is quite limited. So the earlier you can realize that, the better. So if you need to have a good cry about it, that's fine. Leaving your old ways behind of whatever you might have been doing, the habits you've had that built up your character, the person you viewed yourself as, leaving that behind and striving for something new and reaching a new level. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, but it's kind of like a process of reincarnation, because you gotta die before you level up, in a sense. So remember that every person you look up to, every person that's been before you, that has done something that you want to do, has gone through this period of loneliness. Trust me. And they've gone through it, and they've felt the exact same feelings you have. But you gotta keep going. And they've survived it, and you can survive it too, because they're not very different from you. You're not very different from them. You're all humans. Everyone here is humans. And we've all kind of got the same, more or less, right? But the same pitfalls. We feel lonely, we feel sad, we feel angry, we feel frustrated, we feel stuck, whatever it might be. We feel happy too. And these people had what it takes. You definitely have what it takes. So go out there, go get it. I love you, and I believe in you. And tomorrow, I'll see you for the last day of the series. It's going by quicker than I thought. All right, see you tomorrow.